Okay, so playing first, good. This hand, I think it's also good. I actually just looked at the creature type line. I don't know what I expected. Uh, so I think I want to get a. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 12 ways versus one, two. I think being able to put the second early threat into play matters more than landing the fleece main, like in a relevant time frame. Even if it is walking into Bioblight. Now, from here, I think that playing the instant speed threat matters more than anything else. Anticipate. Okay. I'll probably try to set up the bestow if possible. I guess it isn't possible. So in that case, I'll just leave it with Satyr. Yeah, see, if I had I'd fetch the planes, I wouldn't have a lot of action this game. That's fine. I didn't want to play the Satyr there, I think. So I think I'd rather use it as a bait spell for a counter spell here, putting my opponent out of position. That could easily be wrong, though. Worth noting that 100% puts our opponent on pure blue-black. I think there's a chance of, like, some wild Esper deck. By Esper, I mean, like, Flores-style Haven of the Spirit Dragon nonsense. Though I guess with Radiant Fountain, you can't really play Havens, so. I guess I'm thinking of the initial list that deck derived from, which was Radiant Fountain Mono Blue. Kind of expected at that point. I think I need to do this to maximize my follow-up potential. By follow-up potential, I mean I don't really have a lot of it, but I can jam a collected company into this. This isn't the most obvious collected company of all time. Certainly not. Guess I'm obligated to do this while my opponent's tapped out. I want Fleece Mane Death Mist, assuming that's a... Order of the cards shouldn't matter. So land drop Bile Blight, basically irrelevant. Though would have been nice to have traded a different card there. This is a cool little devotion counter. Not that. Draw some more cards. I guess I have to company again here. Hopefully there's no Silumgar scoring going on. That's also problematic. It's also possible I should just held the company so that I'd have a company if my opponent cast Ugin. Yeah, that was better, for sure. Now, I think I just want to run this out there. I think I'd rather lose to Sweeper than give my opponent time to set up. Like, Ugin is a bit of a disaster, but whatever. I think Ugin's always going to be a disaster. I think even if I had the Avatar or the Fleecemane as backup, Ugin would be a disaster. So this really just makes Crux of Fate a disaster, which one already cast. I guess Perilous Vault should have been the card I considered. I guess like the thing is that if I just don't play the second creature, my opponent can just like spot removal pass, and I'm just like in a horrific scenario, I think. Not that this situation isn't horrific. Kind of just arbitrarily playing my lands, just to like literally just do it in some kind of way that gives away them absolutely no information. I have no reason behind when I'm playing them at this point, so my opponent can't really discern anything about my hand. Not a creature in my opponent's graveyard to get back with that, so. I think I'm trying to set up to bestow this Boon Satyr and immediately get it dissolved if that tries to happen. Yeah, I'm okay with waiting still on that. I'll hold the next line for a turn. Top is a problem. I maybe should have tried to fight that turn with the Satyr. Did my opponent just put a card on top and then fetch? Force some action. As expected. More dig through time. Okay. I feel like the game is over. I'm going to make my opponent win. This is mostly because Magic Online really incentivizes you to do this. Because unlike real life, where you both clock out at the end, if your opponent's the one in danger of clocking out, they're the one having to make worse decisions over time. Yep, dead. Yeah, I think all these cards are coming out in this match if I can get them out of there. Congrats. You did it. That's a lot of options. I will cast my creature still. Because I forgot about the Scryland Ashiok interaction with putting the card on top, but don't think that really matters much. For what it's worth, I may still want a Valorous stance post board. The reason for that being, I presumably need to respect Tassiger out of my opponent. I don't really care if my opponent sees the entirety of my stock deck list. So, this card kills Perilous Vault. This card is fine for some definitions of fine. That card's terrible here. This card's exceptionally bad. Guess I just leave him one stance. Sure, that's fine. I'd rather have a stance than a card with power and toughness, I think, because of just like randomly lining it up with a Tassiger. Even though I am boarding in Mastery of the Unseen. I would like to play first. I think this hand is reasonable enough. So glad we're not in the Dark Ages anymore where this would destroy our own creature every single time. I like the idea of EOT and the Boon Satyr here for some reason. It might be that I'm okay trading it for... I don't even know a counterspell. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm ready to jam. That went way better than expected. Oh no, you're back to being summoning sick. Why are you tapped, Sirog? Get a little excited there? Bash a little too hard? Yes, I would like to do that. I'd also like to resolve this Mastery of the Unseen. Give this creature haste and attack for 10. Well then. Huh. Was that a good game? I would say so. Just another one of the lovely parts of Can't Break Serve the format. So we kept this. Obviously not the nut, but like you can't. I don't think I can. I guess there's not enough one drops in this deck to realistically expect anything better. Maybe I'm. Actually, it doesn't matter if I win Sapith on 1. I'd rather draw the land because if I draw the plains, I can actually just use it and then fetch a forest. Look, there's a hand up there. You're not helping at all. The statue just wants the sage's help, and he's just not helping at all. Well, it took a second for our opponent to respond, but that is an interesting response. I don't think I extend a Rex Sage. That was probably the wrong creature, though. I think that the right creature might have actually been Reverend Hunter. Yeah, that should have been Reverend Hunter there. Yeah, maybe not. Huh. Just gonna Sage here. You know, I was right the first time. So I was supposed to play the Lion first, so that I could bait a answer to my card that isn't. Okay, let's. This in case and ice is it's okay this turn. Okay, let's walk through this. So this turn it was okay because it doesn't put my opponent into dig range this turn. And the reason I wanted to lead on the Lion last turn, which I didn't really think through at the time and like figure out, but so if I lead on the Reverend Hunter, my opponent can just trade an ultimate prize for it. No need to do anything except the Satyr. And I'd rather... Yeah, there's the ultimate price. I still hold the Satyr. But I want my opponent to use a counterspell on anything that isn't Collected Company, Rex Sage, or Mastery in that position. Because the counterspell, like, letting my opponent use my ultimate price on my play in that position is, sketchy. I'd rather force them to use something that isn't priced there so that, yeah, it baits the counter, which would answer something else. And I can force my opponent's answers to misalign with my threats. Yeah, I think my opponent did not dissolve the Rex Sage because they didn't think about the encase thing. Is that a top or a bottom? Let's scry bottom and play the Hunter here as a 3/3. I could also play Mastery Mystic, but for some reason I have a feeling that there might be an incoming Perilous Vault. Ashiok. Interesting. Also interesting. I need to get that off the board this game. Yep, my opponent gained some life. That's okay by me. Even though it does put them into dig range. Still all fine. I have more cards than my opponent, plus instant speed threats. Though this mastery is like not super impressive. I feel like I don't know if this deck produces enough mana for that mastery to matter. It was super excellent against control decks out of decks like well, it was super awesome in the non-Perilous Vault days when Ugin was around that one tournament, GP Miami. But it was super awesome in these like Core Serve Crew Fix decks because you just have like 8 mana and you just always double activate. And this deck's just like I'll make a 2/2, and I'll see if that's enough, but I'm not 100%. I've become very attached to the right-click attack all lately. I don't know why. I just pass. I don't have a reason to do anything. My opponent's, again, down on cards. As they start ingenuitying back up, but I'd rather leave up the company and see where this goes. And not even just the company, the stance too. Crux. How do I want to manage a Crux this turn? That's fine. I think I'm supposed to play another creature here. I think it's actually Collected Company is the card I'm supposed to play. But I'd make no promises that this is correct. Because this forces... That's fine. Wow! Okie dokie. That might also be why. So I want Satyr and Reclamation Sage. That is... Like, I wanted to put my opponent to a situation where they had to act on my creatures and then would be at very low life on their next turn, so that I could stick something else, like another company or really whatever. This turn I still just pass. No need to extend more into an Ugin. believe my opponent is dead here. You did it. Blue-black? Pshaw. I have creatures with flash.